Brooksy. Yeah, what's up, Joey?
What's up,
Nice
Josh?
to have you back in the studio,
Yeah.
cousin T-Rock from the
up, Josh?
block. Hey, welcome back to a historical game here today. Game number 18, Loopers
All right.
for Life. We truly appreciate you listening. This is powered by Talgrace Marketing and Media. We are here in studio, all three of us. Joey, fresh back from the senior
LPGA
Legends
Championship.
I mean, this is a Legends Major, wouldn't you call it?
It is a major, yes.
Is it the only one that they really played?
They got senior U.S. Open and senior LPGA. That's it.
Yeah, and the senior women's U.S. Open was just recently started. I think it's only in the infancy stages.
Yeah, it was up in Connecticut.
Yeah, this is either year one or year two. I don't know if we talked about that, and I'm not 100% positive on when that was. But
It was last month, and
that's awesome. And
Annika
so,
kicked everybody's butt.
You were looping, but even more important for Loopers for Life, I'm really excited because last week we had our first PGA. Well, I would say he's a PGA guest for sure. I mean, he's a golf professional, not in the PGA, but he was definitely one of our first guests. So we've hit social media, we've hit golf coaching, and now, boys, we are going to hit a looper, and I am excited about this guy. Joey, tell me about this guy.
This is my man, Bobby 2.0 Watkins. He was on the winning bag in the senior LPGA. He's a local caddy up in French Lick. He's only got about 5 years caddy experience on the local level, and a little bit of I think Bobby, did you say you did a loop at Victoria National during the Corn Ferry once? Is that correct?
It wasn't the Corn Ferry. It was just it was a retired NFL Hall of Famers outing.
Oh,
There
okay.
you
All right,
go.
all right.
There you go.
I had
Well,
Richard Dent. It was a good one.
Oh, you had Richard Dent?
Oh, cool.
That's a good name. I mean, how many? There had to be a lot of cart rides up there because those guys weren't walking Victoria National. I guarantee you that.
So anyway, we got Bobby 2.0 Watkins on. He, like I said, he was on the winning bag for the senior LPGA championship with Trish Johnson.
I like that.
And we're going to talk to him today about his experience and just tell some caddy stories.
Well, hey, Bobby, welcome. Josh Schneider again, Loopers for Life, and appreciate you coming on. I mean, you are our first guest that has ever carried the bag. So, I mean, with 5 years experience, or this is your sixth season doing this, how many times have you carried a bag for just one person over at the die course and actually walked it with the bag on your shoulder?
Well, he didn't walk this one either.
What? Come on, man. No, this is a terrible story now. I'm hanging up on you, Bobby 2.0. Is this why he's 2.0? Because he doesn't walk?
Are we riding carts?
Oh, my gosh, dude. Y'all are riding carts? I mean, they didn't even make the loopers freaking carry the bag down the fairway?
This year we got to ride with our players.
So let me ask you, Bobby 2.0, how many times have you walked the die course with the bag on your shoulder carrying for one guy?
I would say a handful of times.
Oh, really?
Probably 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You like that experience better than the Fore caddying?
I do. I really do. It's a little more intimate, a little more one-on-one. You get to know your players a little better that way.
Right.
I mean, that's what
You've got
caddying is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely on the team when you're inside that. When you're Fore caddying, I mean, it's a totally different feel. And I mean, in somebody like Bobby, I mean, that's how he learned how to caddy.
Yeah.
Was not necessarily carrying somebody's bag. He learned how to caddy by doing what?
Yeah. So Bobby, basically, Josh and I caddied at Valhalla 20-something years ago. So we, that's where we know each other from. But so tell me about this whole experience now. How much information did Trish need? I mean, she loves the golf course. She's won the tournament before. So basically, were you just riding in a cart, or were you, hey, this one, you hit this there? How'd it go?
Trish is, she's the consummate professional. She knows the golf course very well. Like you guys have mentioned, she's won there a few times. So really, I was just there for confirmation. I would like to say confirmation or denial, but I did not have to deny her too many times.
Right.
Just there for win confirmation, making sure it's blowing out of the right direction, like we think it is, and then just confirmation on the greens.
And for all of our listeners that don't know about Trish, let's talk real quick about her history. I mean, and this is one of the most historical. She's up there with, not with Lori Davies, but just on the European women's side. She has been on, I believe, 8 Ryder Cup teams or Solheim Cup teams.
Cups, yeah.
She's had 8 Solheim Cup appearances. She was a Euro Order of Merit winner in 1990, and she was also Rookie of the Year on the European Ladies Tour back in 1987. So she has 28 worldwide wins, never won a major,
except for the
senior legend major, which
Right.
just shows her character to still be playing the game at this level, her commitment, because we all know that golf is a hard game, and if you're going to play well, you have to stay sharp with your practice skills.
Yes.
And for somebody like her that could obviously went just to sit in a cart and knit and watch out, maybe watch her grandkids play or something like that. And I definitely want to talk to you. Like, were you responsible? Speaking of that, Bobby, were you responsible for putting the seat covers down and like the towels on there? Did you enjoy? Did y'all have that responsibility? Were you break it out? I know it was hot though.
It was very hot.
It might have been.
Yeah, I was trying to keep her seat cool the entire
go.
time. Anytime I got a chance to throw a towel down on her seat, she was wearing that skirt, so I didn't want her legs burned.
And that's another reason why they have a towel.
Yeah, that's why they usually put them like homemade seat covers.
Yeah,
down.
you see the seat covers, and you kind of see them, and they have them during the fall. That's when they first, like, as a golf professional, I was like, oh, look at this. They're bringing out a blanket and putting it onto the thing. But then, when you see it in the summertime, you're like, why is that? But it's because they got the skirt on, and you get that burnt leg syndrome. Their back of their thighs are tan, more tan than the front.
So, Bobby, I have to ask. Okay, so I watched the coverage because obviously I had a day off that day. So on 18, I mean, she just hits it down there to the left, right? I mean, she didn't pull that shot, right? She just takes it down to the left, plays it up there, chips up, and says, "Hey, if I make birdie, I make birdie. I make par, I make par." Correct? Is that what she's doing on that hole?
That was the thought process going in. Absolutely.
Because I know that Laura, I got the honor of caddying for Laura in the Pro-Am, and I passed out at the hotel when I was done. So, but Laura just takes it down the left-hand side. So, this is what's so cool about that golf course up there. Is, to be honest with you, sometimes playing in the rough is better than the fairway.
Oh, I agree. Having played it many times, I'm playing from the rough everywhere. But, I mean, if you hit it in the right spot on that golf course, you have a second shot. Now, if the rough is thick, but in the middle of August, I mean, that's going to be at its best to be able to take that opportunity. So, hey, Bobby, going to, like, for you, I mean, was this Trish assigned to you? I mean, did you caddy for her in a practice round? I mean, how'd they go? And I guess this is to you too, Joey. How'd they go about signing caddies to all these players?
Caddy Master actually got in touch with you, correct, Bobby? Sent you a text and just said, "Hey, do you have a lady for the tournament?" And I believe I'll let Bobby tell the story.
So, yes, Joe, the caddy master, Joe Buck, caddy master at the Pete Dye course at French Lick, sends me a text message asking me if I have a bag for the ladies, which I replied, "No. Are there any contenders looking? LOL." So, and the next text message that comes my way is, how about the 2017 champ? To which I reply, I'm in, period.
Good story.
That is a good story.
Yes.
I mean, but Joey, so is that a seniority type thing? I'm curious because obviously she was one of the favorites.
No,
so
Bobby's just bought the caddy master enough beers.
Him and Joe Buck are
apparently they're
is this Joe Buck like the 5th or something like that plays baseball?
right.
I mean, in your area, Buck?
No, that was. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how that happened, Bobby. I mean, how did she end up not having her regular looper? Did she ever say or?
She did not say, and honestly, I did not care.
Right, that's right.
Look, I got to say this. I love this guy to death. He's one of the best guys up there, and I am so happy that he ended up on a winning bag, and I'm so happy that he, you get a lot of guys that get jealous and, think they're better caddies. Look, none of us are any better than the rest. Some of us are better people, obviously, but, I can't, this is so great. It was so great. I sit there and watched it, screenshot it, Bobby standing on 18 with Trish with his towel hanging out of his caddy bib. And
So Bobby, does this kind of like, you're 40 years old and I'm not for sure what you do, and as a looper, I love that you do that, and whether it's a full-time job or a part-time job, I mean, just being involved in the game, and kind of like what Teague said earlier, I mean, you are on the team. It is the essence of playing a game.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. And, and being on that team, do you want to continue forth and being inside the ropes, not like that now? Do you feel like you have a better opportunity? And if so, what are you going to do to market yourself on that?
Being inside the ropes is something that I never thought would happen, to be honest. I kind of fell into caddying. I just randomly ran into a buddy of mine on the range at Indiana University in 2015, and he saw me hitting golf balls, carrying them into the woods, about 260 carry, and he was like, "Man, have you ever thought about caddying, man? You seem like you know what you're doing with this game." And I was like, "No, I'd never entertained the idea." So he took me down there after the senior men's, the PGA men's championship down there, and I tell you, I got in, and I'm addicted.
There you go.
I've been all in ever since.
Great.
I love it. So do you want to continue forth and maybe figure out how you can get inside the ropes? Because, I mean, being a part of that team, I would say that's a pretty good little check mark in your resume right there, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm willing to do anything to stay inside the ropes. Absolutely.
There you go.
Golf is now considered my mistress. If I'm not at home with the girl, with the 7-month-old girl and the love of my life, Jenna, then she knows I'm on the golf course.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, usually though, when people
I like that analogy right there.
Usually when people see you hitting golf balls, they don't usually say, "Hey, have you ever caddied before?" It's usually see how many beers you drink, and then they go, "Hey, I noticed you put down like 36 beers. Have you ever caddied before?"
So Bobby, I gotta ask, when it was a decent purse for the event, so you don't have to give us the number, but maybe we can do some math. Did you get paid the typical kind of 20% caddy fee for winning?
20%? 20? You have, dude. What do you work?
It's usually 10
What are you working, bro?
I mean, I guess the good caddies get 20%, right?
Nobody's getting 20%.
I don't even think Stevie got 20%.
What? It's 10 and 7.
Right.
It's usually 10 and 7.
10 and 7.
Yeah,
10 is that what it is?
It's between 10 and 7. Yeah. So,
well,
and you don't have to tell us, Bobby,
yeah.
but
I will reveal just a little bit of information.
Okay.
So when she asked me if I would be available that week, again, through a text message, I said that I would. I said that I always enjoy caddying that week, no matter who I'm on the bag for. So in the same text message, I wanted to get the ugly stuff out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to get the numbers and stuff out of the way early. So I sent, my fee and plus 10% when we win. So I wanted to make sure that she understood that I wasn't there for third place.
And did you graduate?
10th.
Did you go to IU University?
No.
No, you're just from Bloomington.
Correct.
All right. So
well, that's a strange question.
Well, that was a business school move, and IU University's business school is one of the top 5.
Is it Kelly?
No, that was very, very calculated. I love that.
Yeah, but he's breaking that down pretty good. I was interested in that piece.
Right,
so
keep on going.
Yeah, but so Bobby, keep going with that.
Well, he just told you what it was.
Yeah, so I made my first offer, to which she replies, "Okay, Bobby, that's pretty steep." So now I know I'm kind of out there.
Yeah. Not
knowing if I'm going to secure the bag. But Trish, being the professional that she is, understands that it is a negotiation process.
Right.
So she counter offers, and I did not want to let that bag slip away.
That's right. Well played. That's
good decision.
I'm sorry I interrupted the story. No. I mean,
so Bobby, obviously it was a decent payday for you then, because the purse was pretty good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and with
it's
your
not
new baby,
life-changing money, because I'm obviously going to have to go back
sure
next week.
Yeah. And I'm assuming she got her wire today or
But
winner's
your
wire
caddies
today.
your caddy jobs next week are definitely going to be a little bit more important, I think. I mean, and you'll be able to probably see that. And I hope, for what you just said right there, I mean, in the sense of, the game and what you have learned from the game over the last 6 years, especially as a looper, that you can continue this journey, Bobby, and, and find the right bag. Just by letting it be known. And I think that if you do that, and you'll there's no doubt that this guy's going to go far. I mean, just with your negotiation skills and your commitment to the game.
So Joey and Bobby, this is for both of you guys. So as a little bit of a hater, because when Josh and I were talking, I was hating on old women playing golf. But I mean, can these ladies play? I mean, where do they shoot?
Absolutely kick all of our butts.
So where are they shooting?
Without a doubt.
She shot 67 first day. Trish did, correct? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I don't remember what her score was the second day.
What kind of distance are they playing from?
They played 61, 115 yards is all it was. But let's get a handful of guys here in Louisville and take them up to French Lick, Pete Dye Golf Course, and let them play from 6,100 yards and see what they shoot. They're not going to shoot what these ladies are shooting. I mean, now granted,
75 to 80, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking the entire field, or are you talking just top 10, or I mean, what's? I mean, is everybody under par, or is
the highest score was 88. No, not everybody's under par, but the ladies can play. I mean, you've really actually got to see it in person, don't you think, Bobby? I mean, it's
the two-dimensional images on TV just don't do that golf course justice.
Yeah, that's true.
Until you're out on it, in the fairways, and you see the scale of the slopes firsthand. It is super intimidating, and I'm sure Joey can attest.
Oh, word.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been, it's
word up on that.
Definitely intimidating. But the thing about that golf course is, and this is why I like the way Trish played it and the way Laura Davies plays it, is to be honest with you, you can pretty much swing freely up there. But a lot of people don't. They pick out these targets, and they're so dead set on these targets. There's so many places you can miss it on that golf course, and there's actually places, there's times where you hit a ball dead down the middle of the fairway and you end up kind of standing on your head. So,
and I think that's where, I always go back to Pete Dye being a great architect. I mean, because visually from the tee, it is very intimidating, and visually on TV, just as Bobby just said, the 2D images do not do it justice, whether you're at a Pete Dye, at French Lick, or you're watching TPC Sawgrass, or you're at Crooked Stick. I mean, his golf courses are from the tee very intimidating, but then you get out there, or the Kiwa. I go back to this with Kiwa. I mean, from the tee, you're like, oh my gosh, where the heck did I hit it? When you get out in the fairway, you're like, how in the hell did I miss this fairway?
Right. I mean,
and then once
Pete
you play the
you...
Dye course, I mean, up there in French Lick, the second time around, you kind of know that you can spray it. Absolutely. And I just need to spray it over here, and then hack it over there, and then chip it up, and
Well, the old rule when I was out there looping was, if you go to a Pete Dye golf course, walk it backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, because what you see from the tee is not going to be what you see from the fairway. But basically, to answer your question, Tig, these ladies, their short games are crazy good.
I can imagine that.
Crazy.
That makes sense to me.
And how many greens did you all miss in, say, all three of your rounds up there, Bobby? I mean,
just a handful.
Okay, so how many times did you get up and down?
54 holes. Oh my goodness, so many.
Yeah.
I can't even count. I have to take my shoes off to count.
Oh, I got a question for you. Awesome. Since y'all were in the group in front of us when we made the turn on the second day, what was the ruling on 5? What was going on there? She have an embedded ball in that hillside, or what was the deal there?
Yes, that ball was absolutely embedded. We actually had trouble finding it.
Okay.
I would say we looked for a good 30 seconds before we actually found it.
Okay, all right. Because, I mean, we, like I said, we were the first group on the backside, so we were the first group behind you all when we come around. Was there anybody from the group that kind of was like, oh, no, we don't get a ruling here? I mean, it seemed like everybody putted out before you all ever even actually got a rules official over there to basically give you all a ruling.
Yeah, I mean, how big that golf course is. There's 400 acres of playable land. So when you're waiting on a rules official for that. So the situation was, after it embedded, the other players in the group decided that it was an embedded ball.
Okay.
So she went to take her drop, and everyone in the group knew that when she dropped her ball, that it would roll down that hill
In the bunker, yeah.
So we were waiting on a rules official after she dropped it the first time because it did roll into the bunker. And we were making sure that
Yeah, we're doing everything
that
properly.
wasn't going to be the point of nearest relief.
Right.
So she was actually able to place the ball about 9 times, I do believe.
Yeah, I was
Because the
behind it.
ball
I
kept
seen it. So
oscillating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of rules officials showing up, I mean, we had a casual water ruling on 6. And to be honest with you, by the time the rules official showed up, the water had drained.
Well, yeah,
so we didn't
this
get
isn't
the casual water.
the
So-
walking where every game has a rules
Yeah.
official type
Yeah.
tournament. But
So, Bobby, I have to ask you, did you all shut Legends down? Did you go out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So Laura Davies and Trish, look, these two ladies like to
oh
drink
yeah, they
a
have
little
got
bit,
to
yeah.
be partners. I mean, a long time. We talked about Lori Davies last
That's
week
right.
on the tournament and just how, speaking of historical, how historical that she is. With them being, and Trish having, I'll be quite honest with you. I mean, I had to look up to see who Trish was. And,
Yeah, I mean, you don't follow
and, I mean,
women's golf. I mean,
and
it's
well, I
understandable.
try to, but I
Right.
mean, from back then, I sure didn't.
No.
But to have 8 appearances on the Solheim team,
Yeah.
to be able to do it in 3 different decades, I mean, this girl's got game, and so I could imagine that it was a European victory, and there were some
Oh,
Olays.
yeah. Well, there's an after
Was
party.
there any Olays, Bobby 2.0?
Olé, olé, olé.
No. There were no Olays,
Oh.
just good times.
So I have
Just
to
good
ask you,
times.
Bobby, did you point out Larry Bird's house on 6 to Trish during the round at any point? Did you say,
I
hey?
did not, because I have heard your stories and I have learned from you, good sir.
There you go.
So Larry Bird lives on 6?
No. It's a catty story.
I was gonna say he lives in French Lick, though,
It's
right?
I'll make the story short and sweet. I had some guys I was caddying for, and they were big Larry Bird fans. They came in from Boston, and we were going around. They had Larry Bird jerseys on, and there's a big house left to 6. It was in the fall. You can see the house in the fall. You can't see it in the spring.
Right.
You can't see it in the summer. And I noticed they were looking over at it, and they were kind of looking at it, and I thought to myself, I might say something to these guys. I don't know. So we come back around. We're doing 36 holes. We get on that hole on the second 18. And I said, guys, listen, I noticed y'all were looking at this house earlier. I said, they said, is that Larry Bird's house? I said, yeah. I said, that's Larry Bird's house. But here's the deal. We're not allowed to talk about Larry in French Lick, and Larry wants to be left alone. So if you guys want to go see Larry Bird's memorabilia, go down 33 Brick Street. There's all kinds of it down there. Just don't bother Larry. So we get done. They invite me down to the casino with them. And we'd been drinking a little bit. And I was staying there at the hotel.
Just a classic
And,
looping story.
and I go
What happened?
down.
Is this how you loop too?
Well,
Bobby
yeah,
2.0?
yeah,
Don't
definitely.
put this on your resume.
So basically, there was a guy in the group named Rick who'd played offensive lineman for Boston College. He was huge. He was big as this table. So anyway, I go down to the casino to meet them. They paid me. They took care of me. They were going to buy me some drinks at the casino. And I get down to the casino, and Rick's standing up behind the blackjack table, and the other 3 guys are sitting at the table. And I walk down there. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Rick grabs me by my shirt, picks me up, and I'm eye level with him, and I'm off the ground. And I'm going to cuss a little bit here. He calls me every name in the book. You, and I said, man, what did I do so wrong? He goes, we drove down to that house. That ain't Larry Bird's house. And of course, I knew it wasn't. And
Oh, that's good.
needless to say, they went to the front door and knocked on it and asked for Larry Bird. But,
They did not respect his privacy. They wanted to go out there and shoot on that green court like you did back in
Yeah.
this week.
yeah,
you
I
and
did,
your
I did
boy.
that. That's Larry's old house.
Crawdaddy,
That-
right? Yeah.
That's actually Larry's real house. The
Yeah,
other one
that's
isn't.
right.
But, so, Bobby, so I take it you can retire now? Is it, you don't need to carry the rest
Come on
of the
now,
year?
you said it wasn't
No, I'm
life-changing.
just kidding. I'm just kidding with you. But
Well, hey, Bobby, we appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward, and appreciate your time this morning. And if there's ever anything that we can do for you, just let us know. I mean, and I wish you the best. T, what you got to say about this?
Yeah,
Bobby
man.
2.0.
Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate your time, brother.
oh, Bobby, hold on. Where'd you get the 2.0 nickname?
I get the 2.0 nickname after about 11 or 12 beers.
Ah, man, this is like a normal caddy thing, Josh. Is this like how y'all roll?
Well, I mean, that's how I used to roll. I mean, I ended up getting my PGA card and all that stuff.
Hey.
So,
He's
but,
got to act all professional.
I love the fact that the story of the Looper still stands true today. So,
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, seriously,
Bobby,
man.
thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Bobby.
Congratulations on that win.
No
and,
doubt.
And let's keep it going.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hopefully this
Good
tournament
luck.
will be back.
Well, let's get you
Absolutely,
out on
gentlemen.
the big tour there, Bobby.
That's the overall goal.
There you go,
Thank
buddy.
you, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thanks for
sir.
having me.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right. All right.
Bobby 2.0.
How about that? I mean, I love it. He can drink 11 to 12 beers, and
Hey.
he gets in it. Remember Bobby 2? Who's the original Bobby 2.0?
I don't know. I just know this one.
Oh,
This one
T
actually
knows
comes from
who
a-
it is.
This one actually comes
Throw
from
your
a,
L's up, T. Tell me about Bobby 2.0.
Yeah, well,
it was a
Who-
great
who is it?
experience.
Neck brace, Bobby.
neck brace Bobby 2.0.
Yep.
That was a great experiment. All right, so that was awesome. I mean, and again, we did talk about this last week, Joey. I mean, the ladies that are playing in that and that continue to keep their game sharp. I mean, that's the greatest thing about our sport is that you can play this game for the rest of your life. You can play
Absolutely.
it all the way up, and you can continue to get better no matter where you're at. No matter where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Tiger Woods effect. The Tiger Woods effect. What did he do? Oh, he broke his swing down and he went changing and he did this, that, and the other. And then they asked him about it. He's like, hey, I'm just trying to get better.
I'm gonna tell you this. I would actually rather watch these ladies play golf than watch guys play golf, just because I think you can learn so much more from their swings.
Right.
And their short games
They're phenomenal.
are phenomenal.
I was always amazed watching women, ladies golf club tournaments and, from just the regular women who played at a 15 handicap and the difference between them playing at a 15 handicap and a man playing at a 15
Yeah.
handicap. They were much more fun to watch because they just couldn't hit it anywhere.
No.
But when they got it around the green, what they do? They chipped it up there and two-putted.
No, I mean,
or
it's-
they chipped
it's
it up there
amazing.
and made it.
Now let's talk about this thing with Bryson about him telling
We
about
got
him
all
telling
kinds
them,
of things
telling
to
them
talk
not to
about.
walk.
Well, let's talk about
Now-
what we're going to talk about.
Well, I
all
just
right?
want to go through something real quick.
Uh-huh.
What people don't understand is this happens every day on every tour.
Right.
I don't know how many times up there somebody was asked to, hey, can you move or can you please stop moving?
As a fellow opponent,
Yeah, to an opponent,
a competitor, to a competitor.
Yeah, to a competitor or to a marshal or to a standard bearer.
Marshals,
Anybody.
standard bearers, and fans certainly understand. I mean, an opponent. I mean, and how it played out.
Like he wasn't doing that on purpose.
No, he wasn't doing
Okay,
that on purpose.
it's just
He
that
was
when you're
just
standing
saying,
over and you see that guy out of your vision.
total in the right by Bryson.
Right. So anybody giving this guy crap, and I'm not a Bryson fan, but anybody giving this guy crap
Well,
on the
there's
internet
all kinds of crap
has
to give this
never
guy. I mean, let's
been
be
out
honest.
there. Period.
Well, that may be true, but there's all kinds of crap to give this guy. And
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
and with the BMW Championship last week at Cays Valley, I mean, it was a pretty good leaderboard. I mean, as we said, Tegan and I talked about last week,
Yep.
is that you have everybody, and then they're narrowing down. And my pick, Phil Mickelson, missed a cut.
He did.
He did not. Well, he didn't miss a cut because there was no.
There
cut.
was no cut, but he didn't play well.
He did not play
How did
well.
my guy Camilio do? He do any good?
He's
on, man.
out there on the
Corn Ferry Tour.
He's out on the Corn Ferry Tour balling. T's guy, I can't even remember who it
I
was.
took Finau.
Yeah, Finau, which is a good pick. He's
Yeah,
second
he
in the
did.
overall FedEx
Yep.
Cup point standings and this, that, and the other. But
He had
I mean,
top 15.
it was a great event. Cays Valley did not disappoint. We talked about how low they were going to go and how there was going to be some birdies. And then to watch a 7-hole playoff go down and, really some of the unbelievable pars that came down, and that's the amazing thing about it is that, usually it's going to be a par that continues to move that momentum forward, right?
Yeah.
And not just your birdies. And so, Bryson Cantley making the first par, and then, Bryson making a par from the creek on the other side. But the lead up in the back nine and, Bryson being Bryson and seeing that and then causing a stir and then, social media blowing that all up, which has been great. I mean, that is definitely better. But the what has happened since with the PGA Tour Commissioner Monahan. Yeah, Monahan now putting in this Brooksy rule to where if anybody says Brooksy to Bryson DeChambeau, they're pulled out.
How about
And,
that?
I mean, and the heckling. Maybe he's trying not to make the PGA Tour the chase for the golden jacket like in Happy Gilmore. And I certainly respect that. But also, and there's a lot of blue checkers that have put out their little thoughts, and it's like, hey, you know what? They're professional athletes. They're getting paid to do this, and if somebody says something to them that upsets them, that's their fault for listening.
Come on, Nicholas had to listen to Fat Jack all through Oakmont.
Well, imagine what Charlie Seifert went through.
Imagine what LeBron James is getting yelled when he's at the free throw line.
I think there needs to be more noise in golf anyway. I think people ought to just
Look, it's
whole quiet thing.
it's the whole collared shirt. It's the whole no denim. man, they got to get with it if they're going to get a younger generation into golf, and that kind of stuff is going to push people away.
You know, if you're the
I
guy
think they
that's
should be allowed to wear
sitting behind him,
T-shirts.
No doubt.
if you're the guy that's
Shorts.
sitting behind them and saying "jackass," I mean, you know, kind of like in
That's
the middle.
one
Throw
thing.
that guy out.
Yeah,
throw that
they're
guy
gonna
out.
throw
That's
that guy.
one
But I
thing.
mean, if you're just saying Brooksy,
While
and
the
I
guy-
mean, you know,
While
come
the
on.
guys walking,
Walking down the
between
fairway.
holes. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
his back
Hey,
swing.
bro.
Exactly.
Who
Yeah,
cares? I
who
mean, you know,
cares?
that's
Right.
he's heckling you. Step up and hit a shot.
Use it as
And
motivation.
Now,
That's
let me
what
ask
they
you.
have
Let me
done.
ask you. What's more childish? These two griping at each other on the internet, or somebody yelling Brooksy? They're both just as childish.
Well, I mean, you know, you
sure,
can you
but-
can probably lay some blame on Brooks Koepka on this, but I mean, you know, when he passed out his Mick Ultras, and I said this way back in game whatever it was,
Yep.
which is another reason why I am really excited to have you here at the table with Game 18. You know, the historic day of us being together and doing this 18 weeks
Yeah.
is pretty impressive, especially knowing that, you know, the Tal Grace marketing media producer over here has a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
And
I'm just mad somehow I lost my seat between now and like this.
But I mean,
was
you
my
know,
seat.
I just, you know, when this has been going on for quite some time, and everybody's saying, hey, Brooks needs to put out the olive branch, but really, why? I don't think that's necessary.
I don't either.
I just, you know, I think that they need to be able to move on. So this incident didn't occur because Cantley got yelled at about being able to stop, but afterwards. You know, after that 7-hole playoff, somebody said Brooksy to Bryson when he was walking out, and I don't know if you've seen it on all the Twitters and
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
And he stopped and went over and was like, "Hey, dude, you know what the heck?" And gave him the old, you know, WTH. And Bryson's a big dude. Maybe intimidated that, and maybe
They're both big dudes.
Monahan doesn't want to see the rumble on Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me
yeah,
tell you
that's
something. So, you
like
look,
the NBA song.
I got friends that know that, you know, I'm a golf guy, right? What they want to talk to me about is this whole Koepka DeChambeau
Right.
thing.
It's
It's very fringe people that don't know a whole lot about golf. They don't know anything about golf.
But it brings them to golf.
It brings them. We're talking about golf. Joey.
Exactly.
That's my point.
So guess what? The guy says, "Hey, you know, I may take up the game." I mean, not because these guys are acting like douchebags,
Yeah,
but it's
but-
just the fact that it brings.
We're talking about golf, man, and it's okay. What's the most watched thing on TV right now? It's UFC stuff. So just the fact that there might be something happening in a golf tournament, people are excited about that.
Well, I hope there never is that.
I'm
because,
with
I mean,
you.
I'm on the. I'm
I
on the
hear
side
you,
of the
Josh. But what
game.
I'm getting at is the people talking about it because of this feud's a good thing,
Right.
And them trying to shut down people yelling Brooks.
Well, I'm
well,
with
it's gonna
Josh on this. I don't ever want to see golf get to
I don't
that point.
either.
This
I don't
is
either.
a guy fight somebody in a parking lot at a country club. I mean, but anyways, you know, here's the interesting thing is how's this shake up the dynamics of the Ryder Cup team? Pat Cantley's on the team. You know, that wasn't an issue. Cantley's being overshadowed here with all this BS
He is.
that came from the PGA Tour that goes with this because, I mean, you know, he leads the FedEx Cup point standings.
Yep.
He is he played some great golf.
He did.
The guy made 535 feet worth of putts.
That's
In
insane.
his turn.
That's where you win a golf tournament, obviously, but-
not he was 14. He set the record on tour with 14 strokes gained on plus 14 on strokes gained on the green. I mean, what he did this past weekend was pretty badass.
Yeah.
And I think that like when you look at it and going forward is just like Bryson's creating this dynamic that he is a D-bag on tour.
Absolutely.
Whether I like him. I like him. But as every good D-bag, and we know, and we may, you know, I'm not even going to say douche, but I mean, that guy, you either like him or you don't.
Yeah, and more people don't like him than not. And I think Koepka has been pretty likable, which is what's fueled this whole thing.
Right. And I like him. He's just that guy. So, I mean, you know, and so how this kind of affects the team dynamics going into the Ryder Cup.
It's interesting.
Yes, it is. I mean, there's going to be.
I read somewhere where they hate each other. They're talking about two other guys that hate each other. And then everybody hates Patrick Reed. I mean, it was like
Yeah,
this whole
I've
thing.
seen
Patrick
that.
Reed's
I've seen
back. Patrick Reed's back. I mean, you know, there's a guy who had pneumonia over the last, 3 events he's pulled out of since coming back from Tokyo, and he was a sub to get into Tokyo.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
And then coming back, he has pneumonia or whatever he is, but he is definitely healthy, which is great. And and he started off the year with a bang, and he's a Southern boy,
right?
He's Texas boy, but I mean, went to school in Georgia, so I mean, he's back, and he's
I actually like Patrick,
and I liked how we talked about FedEx Cup during the middle of the season. Who cares? FedEx Cup during the last 3 events where they have people that can go home, love it. Love it. And where it was on the line, I mean, he got bumped out because he wasn't playing. Somebody made a bogey. Guess what? He went right back into number 30. So it was very interesting, and we'll talk about that. I want to give a big shout-out first, too, and let's just stay with the women's game real quick before we go into this.
Right.
And that's where I was going. Congratulations to the Curtis Cup team. United States of America went over to Wells. They got the dub. It was a pretty good comeback. I think it was only they were a point down, but they definitely took the dub in the singles matches, and congratulations to those girls. The girls' game and going all the way to the legends. I mean, what those ladies have done for the game of golf, and see the growth. And then we talked about it last week, just how many athletes are into the game, and then you factor in the pandemic, and we have more people and more girls playing the game. I think it's just been great. And with the Curtis Cup win, we go right into the Solheim Cup this week, which is played in Inverness Golf Club up in Toledo, Ohio. It's a Donald Ross jewel, one that Bobby Jones won on. I mean,
one that I've played.
Have you? I mean, they've had 4 U.S. Opens. They've had 2 PGA championships. They've had all kinds of
lots of history
stuff.
there.
And
first club to ever let PGA professionals in the club.
Here's the interesting fact about this Solheim Cup. America has 4 of the top 15 players in the world. Euro has none, right? The European has none. There are 3 rookies on the American team, and there are 4 rookies on, or excuse me, yeah, that's right, 4 rookies on the Euro team. But the Europeans, all the 12 girls, or the 12 ladies that are playing, they have a 42, 29, and 9 record of matches. So their team has a ton of experience. And the ladies on the American side that are playing on this team are 27, 26, and 13. So, now that includes Lexi Thompson. That includes, everybody that we have. I mean, again, we have 4 of the top 15 in the world, but the Europeans definitely have the advantage with,
Don't they play more match play in Europe?
On a daily basis they do, like as a club membership. But they're all stroke play now, T.
Okay.
I mean, everything's
I knew back in the day that the Europeans used to do a lot more match play, and the Americans were a little bit more of a disadvantage of that because of that.
The European Tour still has a couple more of the match play events. I think they do have like 2 or 3 throughout the season that they kind of sneak in, and then you also have the World Golf Match Play and all that stuff. But again, on the ladies' European side, I wouldn't have any idea. But, I do think that it's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, it's a great golf course. It's one that is, a very historical golf course. And these girls are good. And you have, Nelly and Jessica Korda, making up the pairings.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these girls were undefeated as a foursome pairing, which is always the hardest format to play for the Americans, whether the Solheim Cup or the Ryder Cup, and probably the Curtis Cup and the Walker Cup, etc. What's a foursome event?
Do what?
You know what a foursome event is?
Yeah, I know what a foursome event
That's
is.
right. It's not
Come on, we've done been through this.
Just making sure. But I'm excited. And you say you've been there before, Joey?
I played in Inverness, yes.
Yeah, you have?
Played in Inverness, yes.
What was the club experience like? I mean,
it was cool. I mean, I drove up there, played with a buddy of mine that worked for Toledo Mud Hens. And
did you go in the clubhouse?
Yes, I did. There's a grandfather clock in there where it was dedicated. It's the first clubhouse in the United States of America that they allowed PGA professionals. Because, you guys at one time were not considered amateurs, were held to a higher standard than you guys were.
Yeah, because they were members of the club.
So that was the first. And now, can you name who the golf pro was up there at one time?
At Inverness?
Yeah.
The head professional?
He won our Kentucky Open at one time.
Did he? Lad?
I know this one because Inverness is a client of mine. Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Byron Nelson was pro there. It was his winter or his summer, whatever happened. They did it back in the day.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. I mean, I think it's going to be great great TV. Again, anytime that you have one-on-one, kind of going back to Teague's UFC comment. I mean, you're drawn to it.
You're drawn to it,
You're
man.
drawn to it.
Well, look, if it brings people into the game, I'm all for it.
That's a good thing.
If it ruins the game, I'm not.
It's not going to ruin the game.
But I don't see how you could possibly ruin the game.
You're
unless-
not. It's making people interested in something that other people think is boring. Now it's not boring right now because there's some drama involved. I think it's good for the game, and the PGA Tour needs to back off of it a little bit. I think.
Well, I can't disagree. I mean, and to that point, I mean, I do think it is good for the game because it does bring some things. But again, I don't want to see it where it crosses the line and somebody's getting stabbed or somebody's, hey,
sure.
you never know. I mean,
Now that would be that would be nuts if one of them
I mean,
stabbed somebody.
Well,
but
I mean, it happened in a tennis event.
yeah, I guess it did.
Right,
didn't
it did happen.
That's
It
true.
Didn't it happen to
event.
what's her face?
I can't remember her name. Where was that?
I don't remember.
Monica Seles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Oh, it was
Monica
Monica
Seles.
Seles,
and
that's right.
It was in. It was not. Was it in America?
I don't know. I
think it
vaguely
was.
remember it.
Yeah. I mean, anyways,
Have a Tanya Harding moment with Bryson.
I mean,
takes
hey,
out
listen,
Brooksy's leg.
If that, you know what? Hey,
why me? That's Bryson over there. Why me?
I mean,
why now?
listen. Here's what I think about
Tanya
Bryson.
Harding.
I think Bryson just needs to basically just man up and just be like, wear a pair of headphones or
Use it
wear
as
some-
fuel, man. I mean, he just almost
exactly.
won the
He
golf
does
tournament,
use it as
and
fuel.
that
I
had
mean,
to have been good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like kind of a baby to me.
Well, he's
Right?
going to be
I agree.
definitely on the TV a lot this weekend, and I mean, and as we move forward, I'm really excited to watch the Solheim Cup, the individual match play. I think again, Inverness Golf Club is one that you want to turn the TV on and see, and just leading up and all the hype on the Golf Channel and everything. Been restored a few years ago or whatever. It looks magnificent.
Yep.
It hasn't been on TV for a while.
No, it has.
And so I mean, they haven't hosted something this big for a while. So it's going to be great to see them back in the spotlight. But then moving on to another historical club down the FedEx Cup.
Yeah,
talking the little PGA
East Lake.
talk. East Lake, home of Robert
Bobby Jones.
Yeah, Robert T. Jones. Also, a former place to where it held the Ryder Cup back in the 50s or 60s, whatever it was. Went under some hard times.
Yeah, and then
Got
was
bought back up and has just been such a figure for the game of golf.
Yep.
I mean, and their involvement with the First Tee program down in the Atlanta area and the growth, their kind of charter outreach.
Yeah,
It's been incredible.
yeah.
I think the golf course is just neat to look at on TV.
Now, did you like it when it was the par 3 finish in the original routing? I mean,
No, I don't like any hole. Come on, we've had this discussion. I don't like any hole
like
that.
that. I
finishes
mean,
on
it
par
was
three.
a
Any course.
a 2-iron, 3-iron par 3 finish. I mean, and it was
I don't know. One of my favorite things to watch on golf is when they play the TPC and the oh my gosh, I'm
The Island Green,
Yeah,
and
the
the
Island
TPC
Green.
Sawgrass.
I love watching
Right.
that. I mean, to me, I get a lot. That's fun to me. So
Now, if that was a
Yeah,
finishing
and-
hole, that would
well.
be
They
kinda,
have one of one of those holes is very much in the lake now. I mean, and I
Yeah.
think it is like the 15th or 16th hole. They're one of the last par 3s on the golf course from the original front side. Is almost like an Allen Green. It just kind of sticks out there. But I'm with you. I mean, when you have that par 3 coming down the stretch in the final few holes, kind of very similar to Caves Valley and what we saw
Yeah.
on 17 and 18. For them to go back and just play those 2 holes for proximity, but also having a par 3,
Right.
I think it's pretty good. Now, this golf course is, again, when I think of East Lake, as much as, Bobby Jones is the thought, and is his home, and you hear it in the Stewart Maidens, and
Right.
and who was Bobby Jones' head
Teacher,
professional, right? I think of Tiger Woods. Man, that historical win. You want to talk about the man? I mean, with that, the crowd swarming
Walking
behind
behind.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, and so for that reason alone,
that's an iconic image.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was one of the greatest days in sport until he won the
Right.
the,
The
Masters.
Masters, yeah.
I mean, but to see that image,
Yep.
I like the club flip on that right there. So it's the final hole is what It's a par 5, right?
Now, not many tournaments let the patrons come out like that on the final hole, right?
Not anymore. They
Well,
used to. They actually used to surround the green while
They
they were
won't do
putting.
it.
Really?
They won't do it again since Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka back at Kiowa,
They
right?
had to fight for people to get through
Yeah,
it.
they had. So that won't happen, and that was the first time that has happened in a long time
Yes.
outside of the Open Championship across the pond.
Yeah, they let them guys run. Yeah.
But I guess playing this way, Eastlake is a par 5 on the final. I'm not 100% on this, but I believe it's a par 5 on that final hole. And just that walk that was coming down and with the clubhouse behind it. I mean, it was
place is amazing.
Yeah,
Cool.
and that's what I think about. So going into this, and speaking of like Bryson DeChambeau, I mean, he's third in the FedEx Cup point standings. He's going to start this tour championship. What do you think about the scoring system starts?
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, handicapping's for horse racing.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a fan of it.
I don't like it either.
I mean, you're getting. I agree with it in the sense of like it kind of gives the players who have. It gives some interest into it, and to me. I mean, but again, you have a scenario like last year, Dustin Johnson wins it, but Xander Schauffele wins the FedEx Cup and wins the $15 million.
Right.
And so, I don't like that in regards of it. I also agree with some of the bigger name players that have played well all year and saying, hey, you know what? I.e. John Rahm, who's not going to say anything, but he's not even on my board. He's going to start at 3 under par. He's 7 shots behind.
Right.
Pat Cantley. Now, they got to find some way to make that a little bit more equitable. I don't know how they did that,
Yeah,
but I do like how it's kind of reshuffled in the point system. Let's just go off pure points. Really, why wouldn't they just go off pure points?
I agree.
I mean, just go off points.
Yeah.
I agree.
You got all these damn points.
It's just too gimmicky for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is gimmicky.
It
It's
is
gimmicky.
Right.
It is. I don't like that one at all. It's just it jacks it up.
So you got you got Cantley starting at 10 under, Tony Finau at 8 under, and then you got Bryson at 7 under. Next line down, John Rahm 6 under, so he's 4 shots back. Then you got Cam Smith 5 shots back, and then JT Spieth. I mean, just everybody else in the field is going to be, more than 6 shots behind when you start this tournament.
Yep.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, it really is. And so, I don't know how that plays out if somebody shoots a course record, and just blitzes it, and it's Rory McIlroy starting out at 2 under.
Right.
And does he win the FedEx Cup $15 million? Here's an interesting fact about this. The purse this week down there, speaking about the Legends purse and how much was played there, the purse this week down there is $46 million just for this one tournament.
Golly, that's crazy.
$46 million. In 1990, what the tour average was for the season? The entire season,
450,000.
$45.8 million for the whole season in 1990.
For the whole season.
Yeah,
for the whole season. Never mind.
This tournament now is
Is
worth
more
more than
just
that
one
whole
event.
season.
So are we doing fantasy picks for this thing?
Oh, heck yeah.
And there's
dude.
only,
I mean, what's what we're
26
here?
guys in it?
Yeah.
There's 30.
30?
There's 30. I mean, yeah, you definitely got to have some. I mean, and this is, again, we go to Josh Snyderism, and I mean, I love all the top players in the world, and then I pull out Phil Mickelson last week as my highlight pick, and you got nowhere with that. So if you were listening to me last week, I mean, I did say Brooks Koepka too, and he did play well. I mean, and he had another top 15, I believe. So he, we're right there. So this week, Tour Championship, Pat Cantley is looking to win $15 million.
Yep.
Who you got, Teague?
Oh, man, I'm going to stick with my guy. I'm going to roll one more week with him. I'm going to go with Finau. I'm hoping he got that monkey off his back, and now he's going to start winning a lot of golf tournaments. So my pick's Finau. Now, granted, he's only starting 2 shots back. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's hard to go down and say that a Patrick Reed or a Sergio or a Daniel Berger who has to start 10 shots back has a shot. So I'm gonna take Finau, he's starting at 8 under, or Cantley starting at 10. I think Finau, I'm gonna roll with him again. As far as a long shot, is somebody that is down kind of the list a little bit. I'd like to see I think Morikawa, who is at -3. He's not really a long shot, but
-3.
he's pretty far down the list. I think he's a good play from a fantasy perspective.
There you go. Joey?
I'm going to go with John Rahm. I mean,
All right.
He's got to make up some shots, but I don't really have a big long shot pick. I guess that would be kind of a.
There really
would be a
aren't long
shot.
shots in it, honestly.
I'm just going to go with John Rahm. Just
I
think he's going to make up for having COVID and having to lose the Memorial due to it.
Well, I tell you, and looking at it, I think that's a really good play. I mean, and he's kind of been the one that hasn't said anything, but has said a lot about the.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Yeah, but I mean, he said a lot about this format and kind of how it's gimmicky, and I mean, and so I could see him doing it. Going deep, I'm going to say, you got to look at the top 3 or 4 players.
You have to.
So I mean, you guys.
And it's hard to throw Cantlay out,
and it's hard to throw Cantlay out. I mean, this guy just made 535. If you make that many putts, that's not a fluke.
Nope.
I mean, and
You're
can
a
you
good
take
putter.
that from week to week and this there? I think you can, but I don't think you do this week. And I kind of like honestly, I kind of like Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay, I knew somebody was going to pick him.
I think that
he's only 3 back.
He's 3 back. Fuel for the fire. Eastlake is a golf course where you can bomb it. Hence, Dustin Johnson is one there. I mean, Tiger Woods is one. I mean, you look at the winners at Eastlake, and they're usually big bombers. So, I could see Bryson kind of
Brooksy.
Yeah, keeping his roll going. And then from deep, I'm going to say my man,
Justin,
JT.
How deep is Justin coming from?
JT's coming
4
from
under.
6. Yeah, 6 back.
Oh, that's not too bad.
He's been another one that has called it flat out gimmicky versus John Rahm.
Well, I mean,
saying,
it is gimmicky.
but,
it's just 100% gimmicky.
definitely going to go Justin Thomas right there. And let's just say, speaking of Justin's, big shout out to my man Justin Rose for winning the Payne Stewart Award last night. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys watched that, but
Did you pick him to win the Payne
I
Stewart?
did not pick him to win the Payne Stewart Award, but I needed to. And they didn't give one out last year because of COVID and all that stuff. And for him to get his name on there quickly and still be relevant in the game, I think that's huge. I mean, you look at some of their past winners, and for those listeners that aren't familiar with the Payne Stewart Award, it's something that was created in his honor to kind of recognize those that are doing more off the golf course than. And as well as their historical ties to the golf course. I mean, Payne Stewart was not a chump. He would dominate you. I mean, he won U.S. Opens. He won PGA championships. He was a Ryder Cup heartbeat. But he was also, as you hear the stories, and especially as he transformed in life and his later stages in his career, he really went out of his way to do more for others. And so, Justin Rose, fantastic gentleman of the game. I'm very excited for him and his wife, his family. I mean, I am a Justin Rose fan.
Yeah, you always have been.
I am a
didn't he
Justin
pick
Rose
him
fan.
we've had
Every
18
week.
episodes. and he's
Every
picked
week,
Justin Rose
except for the week that he wins.
Every week, but this week.
So-
that's right. You didn't pick him the week we won.
The Payne Stewart Award awards a PGA professional that exemplifies Stewart's steadfast values of character, charity, and sportsmanship. So certainly well deserved by Justin Rose.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, again, appreciate everybody listening to Loopers for Life. Game 18, guys, I appreciate it. We are going somewhere with this. You know where we're going? We're going to round number 2.
Sounds like Joey's going to Legends.
Joey
What is
probably-
Legends, anyways?
It is a bar in French Lick, Indiana.
all right.
That has
Larry
an after
Bird.
party.
Sounds fun.
Hey, it's known as Larry Bird's bar, but it's not really Larry's.
No,
is it?
that belongs to a guy named Larry Cobb. Larry's stuff is down at a place called 33 Brick Street. There's
Yeah, 33 Brick Street.
Yeah, 33. That's owned by Larry's roommate from college or something. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but no, Legends is a place that sits
Where common folk, the caddy go.
well, we go wherever their beer is. So,
Well, hey, I really want to appreciate Bobby 2.0 coming on. And
definitely.
Again, it's Tegan and Knife Talk. We're going to bring guests to you. I'll try not to interrupt their stories, though, next time.
Peace.
Peace. Deuces.